northern neighbor.
And to shed more light on the issue, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone His Excellency Ambassador Gamal Bayoumy, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you very much for being with us, sir, and a very good evening.
Good evening. It's my pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we are all following up since the early morning what's going on in Syria after the latest developments, after the fall of Bashar al-Assad's regime, and Bashar al-Assad himself left Damascus. And until the moment, there are only media reports where he is, as the Syrian state television said, to undisclosed place. Bashar al-Assad left along with his family. But yesterday, there was an important meeting which gathered 8 foreign ministers from Egypt to Turkey, Iran, and even Russia, in addition to a number of Arab countries in Doha, in Qatar, to try to find a solution, or at least to release a joint statement stressing the fact that the sovereignty, the territorial integrity of the Syrian land is the top priority for the moment. If you want to elaborate on that, sir.
Yes, Syria is a very dear country to us Egyptians, and to me, because when I joined the diplomacy, we were a group of Egyptians and Syrians during the United Arab Republic, where my first ambassador was a Syrian. Even during this unity, it was in 1961 when Syria decided to separate itself from Egypt. It was a sad story, and I cannot count how many times I went to Syria afterwards to exchange experience about many things, especially during the negotiation with the European Union. So, but I can tell you frankly that it was a sad story. 61 years of one family ruling the country, and it was not any type of democracy. You cannot breathe. I remember several times when I was sitting in the lobby of the hotel talking to some Syrian friends. I realized that a couple of them, they left the meeting. Later on they explained, because I was frank talking about politics and this and that, and it's not allowed there.
Yeah, sir, of course, Egypt all the time renewed the stance that supporting our Arab allies and supporting our peoples around the Arab world to choose for their future and to decide their own fate. This is Egypt, and this is all the time the Egyptian stance regarding any people who are trying to find freedom, to find solidarity, to find a way to defend even their national institutions. This is our target. But, sir, unfortunately, with the current escalations, the Israeli side, or the Israeli Prime Minister in specific, Benjamin Netanyahu, he went himself to the Golan Heights today, and he said that the disengagement agreement now fall, and they are going to seize the opportunity and to try to occupy more parts of Syria. How do you see this as another side of the coin, unfortunately threatening the whole region into more chaos?
This is very dangerous, but we will never accept this. Mind you that the Prime Minister of Israel declared before that Golan became a part of Israel.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the then President of the United States agreed with him. Nobody will allow this at all. Syria is dear to us. Syria is very important. It is the most important country for our solidarity. Mind you that we call our army the second army, and the Syrian is the first army, because it is the second big army after the Egyptian one. And I call on our brothers in Syria to take this in consideration and to vote for one government democratically, and to choose who will rule Syria in this very critical time, because we cannot jeopardize all what we have in a country in the size of Syria with some politics and this and that. We advise them not to divide themselves among parties or factions or whatever. Syria is one united country, and it should continue like that. especially after the fall of President al-Assad.
Yeah.
So our advice, and I am quite sure that Egypt will never lack the possibility or the will to advise our Syrian friends, and we have, as you well know, more than 1 million Syrians living with us now in Egypt.
Amen to that. One final question, sir, regarding the difference between intervening in the local affairs of a country and giving a hand or supporting. Here you are going to find Keir Starmer of the UK, Sergei Lavrov of Russia, Arakji of Iran. Everyone or the whole world, they now do have a say with what's going on in Syria. How do you see, or what is the homework of the Arab world? What's the homework of the Arab League? What's the homework of the OIC? How we can support the Syrians against any foreign intervention, and in the same time to support them to find a peaceful way to settle the situation there?
Our role as Egyptians first is to give a good advice. We do not at all in the position to intervene or to take sides for some party or the other. We are giving good advice. If they need any help politically, even financially, if they need anything, we are ready to give it. And as I said before, we are hosting thousands of Syrians living here with us. You don't feel at all that they are foreigners.
Yeah.
As of the Arab League, of course, the Arab League played a very important role since the start of the problem. And at the beginning, we did not, at the Arab League, recognize even al-Assad himself. Later on, we find that he could be represented in the Arab League. Now it is another story. The Arab League, of course, it has its institutions, and it has to deal with the new government in a way, a respective way, to respect whatever the Syrian people decide for themselves. Whatever government they will choose, we shall respect this choice, and we shall deal with it.
Well, Ambassador Gamal Bayoumy, thank you very much for your input, sir, and have a very good evening. And to continue with our coverage, Palestinian health officials said on Sunday that the Israeli occupation forces had shelled the Gamal Adwan hospital in the northern Gaza town of Beit Lahia, damaging electricity